Now we are going to show how to use the Innomix Surya and how not to use Innomix Surya. Number one, always make sure you store the wire card inside this handy storage compartment. Now it keeps the wires away from your kitchen, it keeps it very organized, and also it's safe around the children. Whenever you are using it, first take the jar out of the base, fill up whatever you need to fill up, close the lid. Before closing the lid, make sure the gasket is on the lid. The gasket makes it fit tightly on the jar. If the gasket is missing, when you are using, the contents can spill, especially if it's liquid. When you are adding the contents, make sure it's not more than half the volume of the jar. Do not overfill. It's okay to grind it twice. It takes less than a minute to grind each batch. If we overfill it and then grind it, because of the pressure, the lid can pop up, it can spill, you'll spend more time cleaning up. So it's better to save time upfront by grinding twice. And also make sure you close the lid tightly, then you put it on the base and then rotate it slightly till you hear the clicking sound. Since this has a safety switch, unless you hear the clicking sound, the unit will not switch on. Also, when you are grinding, make sure you keep your hand on top of the lid. Do not put the lid and walk away from the kitchen to do something else. That's not a good idea. Always make sure stay next to it and finish the job. And when you are storing, since the unit comes with a storage space for both the jars, you can see this one you can use the taller jar, here you can use the smaller jar. So put the smaller jar here and then put the taller jar. It stores very compact. It doesn't take too much space in your kitchen. And when you are cleaning, it's very easy with this mixing. So always after you empty the contents, you put some water. Put 1 drop of any dishwashing liquid. Close the lid. Put it on the base. Rotate it. Now open the compartment. Connect it to the power. Keep the hand on the lid. Now switch it on. "10 seconds. It cleans the jar. You throw the water and rinse it water. What it does is, since the blade is very close to the base of the jar, sometimes some small food particles can get stuck between the jar and the blade. When we wash it with the soap and water with the soap pad, we may not reach all the spaces. By using the water and soap and doing it on the machine, it cleans the blade under also, so it's very hygienic. There won't be cross contamination of the food. And when you're storing, after you rinse it, make sure you take the gasket out and then store it on top of the lid. This extends the life of the gasket. So again, always store the wire card in the compartment, close the jar with the lid, with the gasket in place. And gasket, when you put, make sure there are 2 sides. One is a narrow and one is a little bit wider. So make sure the wider is facing you and then put it on the lid and close the lid. Put it on the base, rotate it to hear the click, then switch it on. Then once you are done, unplug it. And then store it inside the compartment so it will be safe. If you do this, The mixie will work for a long time. If you have any questions on using it, you are welcome to contact InnoConcepts at innoconcepts.com. Thank you.